Hi guys, I'm just sitting down to film a casual, chatty video. As you saw in the clips that I showed you earlier, it's a gorgeously sunny weekend here in Munich, and it's a long weekend for me. So I feel like I should be making more of an effort. I feel like I should sit down, make the most of the good lighting situation, and film a proper video. However, you see, in the last couple of weeks, I've had a little bit too much of video filming and editing in my life. A word of caution: one careless remark can turn you into the video editor in chief as well as the camera woman in an institution that isn't equipped for fancy video editing or for any video editing, really. But anyway, I have a few minutes before I need to leave and catch my bus to go to the city center and to the opera house. I'm not going to the opera or to the ballet for a change, but I'm going to take a tour of the opera house. It's high time that I learned a bit more about the history of the opera house, and the guided tours are only 10 euros, so about as much as I'm paying when I'm buying a standing room spot for the ballet or the opera. So this weekend it's going to be a tour for a change. It's also a great opportunity to take some pictures inside the opera house when it's empty of people. So if I get the opportunity to film some small clips as well, I'm going to insert them at the end of the video and show you around my beloved opera house a little bit. But before I do that, before I leave for the opera house, I thought I'd take this opportunity to chat just a little bit about reading resolutions. I have quite a few, or a handful of reading resolutions for the new year or the future in general. But truth be told, most of them are boring to talk about, and most of them are goal oriented, and you'll see the result of them anyway when I talk about the books that I've read for these resolutions. The one that I would like to talk about is one that is more mindset related. If you have watched my channel for more than 5 minutes, you will have noticed that I have a hard time finding books that I enjoy. Most of the books that I pick up end up being horrible disappointments, and the situation has been getting worse and worse as the years go by. And I know the reason for this situation. It's not a big mystery to me. The reason is just that I'm at a point in my life where I have read so much that most things that people come up with and that they produce seem very stale and unoriginal to me. And I don't mean that I have necessarily read every type of book that I picked up before. That is certainly true in a lot of cases of fantasy books that I read that I don't enjoy. But I mean more broadly that I have come across a lot of ideas in my life, not necessarily in fiction, but in theoretical works and just in general by being alive and paying attention. And when I encounter these ideas in novels, in fiction, I am not automatically wowed by them because they aren't new to me. So for me, it is all about the execution, the delivery, and about how an author contextualizes the idea. Lots of authors, especially in what you might call literary fiction, what I prefer to call general fiction, lots of authors think that that's unnecessary great contextualization because they think that their ideas are so original, so witty, so mind-blowing that the delivery and the execution can be a little bit formulaic, can be a little bit stale. We don't need to pay that much attention to it when we're writing the novel. It's all about the ideas anyway, and people will be mind-blown by those great and profound ideas when they encounter them in our books. And that is just not the case for me. For me, it is all about how people relate these ideas to individual characters, individual situations, and how those ideas might manifest in our daily lives. Your idea in and of itself neither affects me in an emotional way, nor does it stimulate me intellectually if you just deliver it in a sterile, unrealistic way. Bring your ideas down to earth, show me how they relate to reality and to life, or how they can relate to reality, the potential in them, the potentially life-changing potential in them. I know the idea. What I want to know is how it is significant. And as time goes on, there are fewer and fewer books that do this in a way that to me seems fresh and original and emotionally honest and significant. And as time goes on, I feel more and more impatient with books that I feel like are wasting my time with their unoriginality. In the last few years, I felt that this is a shortcoming on my part, that I should be making more of an effort to be positive about these books and to enjoy the reading experience regardless, because after all, other people seem to manage it just fine and find those books extremely rewarding. So in the last few years, I felt like a miserable spoilsport and like I'm not putting in enough of an effort. But in the last days of 2023, when I was thinking about my reading, something switched in my mind and I made a resolution. The resolution is, or the resolutions are, that A, I'm not going to take this so hard anymore. I'm not going to take the disappointments so hard anymore. Of course, if I spent a lot of money on the book, if I didn't buy it used, if I bought it new, I will feel that, but I'm not going to be so angry about it anymore because, for one, it's bound to happen anyway, and it's also, at the end of the day, it's a positive thing. It's a sign that I have learned a lot in the course of my life. So me being underwhelmed by a book is actually a symptom of something that is, at the end of the day, a positive thing. Resolution B is that I'm not going to feel bad about talking about the disappointments and why the books were disappointing to me. In the last year in particular, I filmed very little because there were so many disappointments among the books that I read, and I felt like, as I said before, a miserable spoilsport. Or I would have felt like that if I had talked on and on about books that I hadn't enjoyed and that I felt were just the hugest disappointments of my life. But you know what? I'm not going to apologize for that anymore. And after all, I think there will be people watching this who are in the same situation as me, who are the same age as me or older, and who will maybe appreciate if I point out in which ways a book isn't exactly mind-blowingly original hot shit. And maybe I will save some people a little bit of money and a lot of disappointment. And my third resolution, resolution C, is that I will be all the more appreciative of the books that I do end up enjoying, that do entertain me, or that do even blow my mind and that manage to still surprise me. I will be even more appreciative of them and more grateful for them and even more pleasantly surprised by them. These are my resolutions. Positivity, but without putting on an act and without being not true to myself or bending myself out of shape, trying to make myself believe that I enjoy what I'm not really enjoying. I just hope that if and when I am enjoying something, I will manage to get across to you how much I am enjoying it. I feel like I haven't done the best job with that in the last year or the last couple of years either, to be honest. Thank you for sticking with me, for having stuck with me, even though I've been here so infrequently and my videos have been so inconsistent for the last couple of years. I hope that I can be better in that regard in 2024. Here is one of the goals-oriented resolutions. So now I'm going to leave you with some clips that I'm going to film for you later, hopefully inside the opera house, but definitely during my walk along the river. And I'd see you soon, guys. Bye!